Welcome to the Hey Docs podcast with your host, Jill Allen. On this episode, we are delving into the cutting edge world of integrated dental technology with special guest Ali Hyatt from Henry Schein One. Tune in as we explore the challenges and opportunities of staying connected with patients and ensuring every dollar spent is a step towards success. Let's get started. By now, we all know I talk to a lot of doctors and give advice to practices in every stage of their life cycle. And one question my docs ask all the time is, who do you recommend for marketing to attract more new patients from the internet? My answer? Easy. I have been recommending Mary Kay Miller and her team at Kaleidoscope for the better part of a decade. Why? They are thorough, professional, and transparent. Kaleidoscope Digital Marketing is who you want to talk to because they understand how to market in the orthodontic world and they offer tools that are affordable and easy to use. I'm telling you, if you're looking to step up your digital presence, Kaleidoscope should be your first call. Go to contactkl.com to request your free digital marketing consultation. That's contactkl.com. Thank you so much for being on the show. What I would love is if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Henry Schein One.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me today, Jill. I'm really excited to be here. So, I am the Chief Customer Experience and Marketing Officer at Henry Schein One. So, that means I'm basically responsible for the entire customer experience, how we talk to our customers, how we onboard them and get them trained, and how we ensure their success as well. So, really excited to be in this role. I've been there for about a year and a half now. And before coming to Henry Schein One, spent a lot of time on the medical side, working closely with hospitals and health plans. And so have a broad depth of experience across the patient sphere. So really excited to be here today.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I'm sure that they are very happy to have you on this side of the business. So, one of the things that I wanted to do is start out discussing, and this is a mouthful, what integrated dental technology means, especially for orthodontic practices.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great question. And it's like a lot of big words, right? To integrate it. What does that mean? I just want to see my patient. So what I would say it means from the orthodontist perspective is just making it super easy and seamless for you to be able to focus on patients. So we like to talk about what we do at Henry Schein One is we empower dentists to focus on patient care, ensuring practice success. So the practice success is just in the background because we know the orthodontist wants to talk to the parents, talk to the child, the patient to talk about what's really important to them. This is a major, right, treatment that they're going through as being part of being a patient. And so for us, it just means when the orthodontist is in the practice management software, that it's super easy for them to go look at a chart, then check eligibility for the patient overall to be able to have the front office staff schedule the next appointment and have it all be one, right? So they're not opening up different screens and having to check different things. It's just exactly what they want to be able to do at any time is all in the same place. And so they don't have to think about it. They don't have to think about making a bunch of clicks. And this also just means there's less room for error, right? Because they're used to it. It's that seamless workflow. And I think in general, that's what any doctor is interested in. They don't want to sit there writing a bunch of notes. They want to just make it seamless so they can talk to the patient.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree with you. And I think it's so nice. And we've definitely seen this in our industry as companies have started to compile everything into one area where we don't have to go out and go to 5 or 6 or 7 different sites to get all of our information and our data. I love that. And that kind of brings me to, especially when we're looking at marketing, and I know you guys do a lot now with marketing. And of course, Henry Schein has been in our industry for a long time now. But I don't know that everybody knows, just like you just said, how all of these parts have been brought together. And I think a lot about it in regard to, we'll talk about marketing for a minute here, just some of those metrics that I think practices really need to be thinking about and evaluating especially when they are diving in, and all of us have to have that kind of marketing vein of we're out there doing whatever we're doing with marketing. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you guys are advising practices that are working with you in regard to that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it really comes down to some simple metrics overall. So for us, what the orthodontist and the practice should be thinking about is your website getting clicks? Are people actually coming to it? Are you getting emails or form fills from prospective customers? So having a form just be right up front on the front page of the website is really important. Are you getting phone calls from prospective customers? These are really simple things like people coming to the website, filling out those forms, and calling your practice. And then it's important to look at how is that interest from prospective patients changing over time overall. So have you added new patients? How are you adding those new patients? Are you getting them from referrals? Are you getting them from Google reviews? Those types of things are really important to just know. And listen, of course, the practice has a lot of different things to focus on. And getting it down to those couple of simple metrics are really key. We work with a lot of practices on just how do you optimize your website? And again, that means things as simple as is it really easy to find the phone number on the front page? Is it
Yes.
easy to fill out a form? And we all know this, right, from any small business that we interact with is if you can't find that right away, then it's that they've lost you. And so just thinking about those simple things is what makes a lot of sense. And so we work with doctors on the creation of those websites, social media advertising, optimizing their reviews, and then just finding ways to make it super simple for them to get those calls in and be able to track them as well. Do a lot of patients call during off hours? Is there a way that you can online schedule? That can be a really
Mhm.
important thing. We offer online scheduling. And a lot of people, you think of these are all consumers, they're used to Amazon and everything that's out there. They want to be able to really simply do that. And so making it easy for the patient, the parent, right, to be able to come in when it makes the most sense for them, meet them where they are. It's something we should always say in the medical side. You just always want to meet the patient where they are. And so making those opportunities to meet them is important.
Yeah, and I could agree with you more. And I love that phrase, meeting the patients where they're at. And I think one of the things that we are really seeing is that communication modalities have changed significantly over the last, I'll say for sure 10 years. We've really seen it a lot in the last 5 years. And and I think that some practices can really fall into a trap of not keeping up with the way patients want to be communicated with. And they can get almost thinking to the sense of, this is the way we do it, so therefore the patient should do it this way. And I'm curious if you can maybe speak to maybe some of the pitfalls that you've seen or things that you are seeing in regard to how, with the data that you have and what you guys are seeing with how patients are interacting through your websites and whatnot, what that kind of looks like.
Yeah, it's a great question overall. And again, I think it's something like you and I probably think about every day. You go to do something online and it's, oh, they didn't make it easy for me to do this. What is it that could make it much easier? And so some of the things we've seen, I guess, both successful and then what some doctors could be doing better is it's important to offer them something right away. So a lot of orthodontists do something like a free virtual consultation. It's something that can just fit into the lifestyle of the prospective patient or family. Just making it hard to take action. I talked about this a little bit today, but if there isn't an obvious call to action on the homepage, what should you do? Like, is the next step to call? Should you fill out a form? What should you do? Just making it really simple for them to know what to do. We all know everyone's busy, right? And so not being available during off hours. So a lot of practices use live chat, right? So that there's that
Yes.
technology available for the prospective family to be able to contact them during it. And then also, I think the key thing is not utilizing automated or instantaneous digital options like emails and texts. We're all used to that. I actually just filled out the form for my new dentist that I'm going to next week, right? Where you want to be able to, they ask you to confirm an appointment. You want to know that they got it, right? You get the confirmation of
Yeah.
that when you schedule an appointment. You may schedule it via phone, but then you get that text or email confirmation because we all know it's hard to remember everything that's
Mhm.
going on. and then having that tie-in, right, to the calendar as well. So you can easily put it on your calendar. So again, just simple things that, orthodontics is no different than any other small business in that we just want to make it really easy for the patients to come see us and come back. And I think in particular with orthodontics practice, like they're coming back on a regular basis, right? So
Yes.
it's especially important to have those really simple ways to remind them of what's coming up, make it really easy if, say, the kid has a sports practice and needs to reschedule it, making that really simple and giving them multiple ways to do that.
Mhm. Oh, I think that's such a good point. And many times I'm work with a lot of doctors all over the United States. And again, I think we just sometimes we're like the last to the party with keeping up with the technology, even though we're so advanced on so many levels.
Yep.
Many times we're still stuck in the past though. And patients just naturally want to call our office. Or they don't necessarily want to call your office.
Yep.
They want to making that appointment, making that interaction with you fit whatever their lifestyle is. And I think it has a lot to do even with the demographic age of the patient and how they are comfortable. We know there's a lot of studies that say millennials and Gen Zs right now that they don't want to talk to you on the phone. They feel
Right.
very
Yep.
comfortable reaching out through email or through a chat bot or whatnot, which kind of leads me into thinking a little bit about marketing. And when we've got docs that are okay, they've got their website set up right and they're prepared to communicate and move forward with patients in whichever manner they're going to be doing that. But as they are thinking about that in correlation with their marketing and their marketing dollars and converting these patients, I always call it that contact to contract avenue right there. Do you have maybe some key indicators or some things that we should be aware of when docs are thinking about spending that money and then actually being able to verify that they're converting those patients, those warm leads?
Yeah, it's a great question. And especially if you're a young doctor starting out too, it's, hey, I went to learn all the clinical stuff in dental school. I don't know how to run a business or market my practice. I think so. We have a product called Jarvis Analytics. A lot of doctors out there use it, and it gives you really simple key indicators into how is your business doing. And I think the way and what we try to do actually is provide those benchmarks, right? If you're a doctor, you're running the practice, like how am I doing compared to other practices of my size? And I think the simple things to look at are how full am I, right? Do I have capacity in the schedule? And then, because importantly, right, if you're really full, obviously it's important to look at, okay, do I need to hire more? How do I retain my staff? If you're not, then it's important to look at how could I bring in those new patients? Is it through online scheduling, through something else? So I think related to that, new patients, right? How many new patients did you bring in this month versus last month? Is that growing? Where are those patients coming from? You can easily look at, are most of them coming in through Google? Are they coming in through referrals, which obviously can be super important in the area of orthodontics. And so just understanding where you're at and then focusing on what's working. No one has to go do everything and you don't have to do a lot of everything. You need to know what's working, focus on it. And of course, there comes a point in time, right, where one, Google reviews may not be working as well. And so you need to go more to social media. So being able to test that out and try it and then look back at those monthly metrics, I think is really important. But we do make it easy as well, right? We know that no one needs to go set up their own reports and all that. We want you to be able to do it straight from the software.
Yeah, which I love, which goes back to that integrated technology that you were talking about, where we've got all of our pieces working together in one area so that you can really get a good focus for what's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as we've been talking through here, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, or if you were to give, whether it's a startup doctor or maybe a younger doctor getting in, and maybe you can do this both ways, a younger doctor and then a senior doc, or I won't say senior doc, but like an existing practice that's been doing it for a while. This isn't their first rodeo here. Maybe some advice on how they get into or start to manage this integrated technology and like some things that they should be thinking about. Hey docs, let's talk about consumer experience for a minute. Specifically, the kind of experience where you purchase an item or a service that you've been excited about, only to be let down or disappointed by the actual product or experience. Not a good way to start a relationship. That's why relationships are so highly valued at GC Orthodontics, because they are truly dedicated to the orthodontic specialty. GC Orthodontics is a leading provider of Tomy orthodontic appliances, quality products that have serviced the orthodontic community for well over 50 years. They are focused on providing total solutions that include both digital and analog orthodontic treatment modalities, like brackets, indirect bonding, and clear aligners. It's time to build a long-term relationship with a company that is dedicated to delivering total solutions to your practice. Visit GC Orthodontics at www.gcamerica.com/Jill Allen and see why countless leading clinics have made the switch. Hey docs, let's talk about Smile Suite, because it's not just another scheduling system. It's a game changer in the world of new patient management. And as a proud Smile Suite partner, I've witnessed the incredible impact it has on practices of all sizes. Smile Suite means your new patient calls and web leads are expertly handled 7 days a week, even during nights and weekends. And they offer top-notch customizable presentation software and seamless post-consultation follow-up. It's like having a secret weapon for your practice's success. Curious? Dive into the revolution at GetSmileSuite.com. And don't forget to mention Hey Docs to unlock some extra goodies. Elevate your practice with Smile Suite, because every smile deserves a suite of excellence.
Yeah, it's a really great question. And one I could see is, yeah, so overwhelming, honestly, whether you're new to it and you're just starting out, or even if you've been practicing for a while and there's all this new technology like AI, it's
Yes.
becoming big in dental. What do you do with that? I think the most important thing is to start off by thinking about your goals. So is your biggest goal to grow your practice? Is it to increase case acceptance overall? Is it to have a great work-life balance, right? There's lots of things that
Mhm.
drive people. Is it really great patient satisfaction? That's what matters to you. And so everything should start there. This is true of anything, but everything should start there. What's your goal? Because you're going to go in pretty different directions
Yes.
based on what that is. If you're thinking about for the long term, I really want to grow my practice. I want it to be really state of the art and innovative, right? You're going to want to look at like, how do I set up things like billing via text and email? Should I look at AI for my practice? That's something that's really growing in dental. Do I want to set up from the beginning all the appointment reminders or things like that? Or am I thinking more about I'm nearing retirement and what I want to do is I love focusing on my patients. So I want to be able to spend more time with them. Thinking about that to me is the most important thing. I think the things to think about that are so important related to that is it's the whole practice, right? So
Mhm.
the doctor, it may be the doctor running it, but you really want your staff to be happy. I think lots of doctors know this is important. And so ensuring that everyone has the right training, we provide really easy ways for the whole staff to get trained based on their role. Because oftentimes you bring in any new software, there's of course some hesitancy. I've heard some dental practices talk about it as like the stages of grief in a way. First, it's no, don't make me change what I'm doing now. And
Right.
then they're like, okay, I'll just try it out. Oh, it's a little bit better. And then a few weeks into it, they're like, oh, wow, like this really saved me
Mhm.
time. I didn't have to fill out all this or do this to try to figure out how insurance is going to cover this patient. And thinking about it like that it's the whole office. How do you think about their own happiness and ensure that they're really trained and prepared and everything is incredibly important.
Yeah, that's such a good point, and I love that analogy of what you just said there, because that is so true. Usually, it's people kicking and screaming,
Yep. So
I
yep.
don't want to
Yeah.
do this,
No one
to
wants to.
usually about 6 months in, when people can completely look back, they're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this sooner? It
Right.
definitely made my life so much easier. And I think that's the thing too, is I feel like a lot of times team members think that bringing in third party companies or bringing in new technology means that we're trying to take away from their position. What I hope, if I've got any team members that are listening, what I hope you hear, and docs, this is what you should be telling your team members too, is we're doing this to help you be better at your job. Imagine taking off the things that fill up, they're just work, like they're busy work things that have
Right.
to happen. But they don't really enhance a patient experience, or they don't really, when you're taken off of being able to really communicate with the patient in front of you or really be able to connect with somebody. And really, all of these different things, this integrated technology is really there to make your life easier so that you can focus on the really great things about your job.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think you nailed it there. And it's funny because the thing that comes to mind me for that is like we talk about reducing insurance headaches, right, for the office. Is there anyone at the office who wants to sit on the phone with an insurance company all day, like waiting on hold, trying to get the right information? So if the software can make that part easier, just make it, simple. You automatically know what the patient is eligible for, like that just takes this huge load off. And again, you can focus on other things, bringing in new
Yes.
patients, ensuring the staff is trained on new technologies, which can then help that practice achieve its goals overall.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. So, as we finish up, one of the things that I want you to highlight on for us is, again, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning here, but I've known Henry Schein for years and years. And a lot of times we think about it only on the equipment side or only on the ordering side. But I'm wondering if you can talk about what is Henry Schein One. And you're talking a lot about website and marketing and all these different things. Can you just sum that up for us as we finish up here?
Sure. Yeah. I think we love to talk about it just as all things dental software, right?
Mhm.
Whether you want to increase your number of patients, boost case acceptance, have be able to focus on clinical care. That's where really what we like to do. I talked about at the beginning, it's about empowering the dentist to focus on patient care. We love that. We talk about ourselves as the care catalyst, right? You, the doctor, are the one that is delivering the care. The staff is helping the practice to do that. We're just in the background. We're just trying to help you make it happen and make it so that you don't have to spend time focusing on all the other areas. I think about my uncle was a periodontist and my aunt managed the practice overall. And I can picture growing up seeing all the headaches behind just the silly things, right? Oh, this hygienist couldn't come in today, right? Okay, do we have to reschedule all these appointments, right? There's things like that every day. And so if you have the software that can make it easier so that you don't have to spend time stress thinking about all, that's what it's about. It's about that empowerment and catalyzing them to just focus on the care.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So, if someone wants to get a hold of you or learn more about Henry Schein One, how should they do that? What's the best way?
Yeah, definitely. So just call us at 1-800-336-8749. Visit our website, which is www.henryshine1.com. And they're basically based on the solution you're looking for, whether you're looking for patient marketing, whether you're looking for new practice management software, you want to learn about AI, you'll hear and learn a lot about how others use it. We've got a great conference coming up, the Thrive Live conference in Las Vegas in a month. It's just a great way for practices to learn from others, talk to their peers. We are always happy to connect you to someone else and hear how they're doing it because honestly, we learn from all the practices every day. Every day you find out about someone doing something different that you may not have thought of. And then all we want to do, honestly, is with those thousands of practices, just connect them to each other so that they can learn from others who've come before them. You don't have to do it all from scratch yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love that. Again, everybody, if you've got questions about this, Allie just gave us some good resources on how to reach out. So, Allie, as we finish up Hey Docs here, one of the things that I like to do is finish us up with the speed round. So, are you ready for the speed round challenge?
I am always ready for the speed round. Yep. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee all the way, and if possible yeah, if possible, a latte overall. I look forward to my homemade latte or getting it somewhere every day, but yeah, I can't I appreciate a good tea drinker, but yeah, I need the
I'm
coffee.
I'm right there with you. As I am still drinking, I think I'm on my
Yep.
second pot today. All right, how about a favorite book?
Yeah, a couple different ones. So growing up, I always loved The Color Purple. I like to
Mm.
really like deep, dark drama. I recently read Indra Nooyi, who's was the chairwoman of PepsiCo, My Life in Full, which is just a really good business book. If
Oh,
you're a doctor starting out, you think about growing your practice. It's a really good memoir of her experience.
oh, that's great. I'm always looking for new books, so thank you for that. What's your favorite outdoor activity?
Running all the way. Running is like the time where I don't use technology and just focus on what's going on around me. I have a lot of trails outside. It's actually snowed in April, of course, in the Northeast. But in general, yeah, and I just love to get my mind off of things out in the outdoors.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then if you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be?
Yeah, it's a great question. I honestly just focus on people. I talked about empowering a lot, but I love the idea of empowering people to be the best they can be and focus on their unique strengths. And so that's what I would say there.
Perfect. And then as we finish up, best piece of advice you've ever had?
Perception is reality. It's one of those learned it early on in the workplace, or I was working hard and not totally getting the credit for it. And a manager said to me, perception is reality. All that matters is the impact that you make. And I have taken that with me since. It helps me prioritize anything that I do. And I think it's just a great lesson for anyone.
That is so good. So good. Again, Allie, thank you so much for being on Hey Docs with me. And I look forward to the next time. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jill. Great to be on and really appreciate it. Thank you.